now we're at LAN at the tournament.
We're going to hold you on that because Wonderboy's ready to give us an update from those first 2 games. Maybe we'll see some of those things put into practice in this next series. Wonderboy, we're jumping in on game 3, but what happened in the first 2 games?
Thank you very much, Onset. The wonderful thing about these open events is that there are constantly series going on. There's always games to watch. And on the feature station, we have an interesting game. It's actually 2-0 to Back2Classic. They're playing Stush Gaming. But in game 1, it was a nice 5-0, but things got a little bit dicey for them in game number 2, where it ended out 50 to 48. So just a 2-kill swing. We'll see what happens in the remainder of this series.
Absolutely tremendous stuff there, Wonderboy. Kept us on the edge of our seats. Here is that series layout. 5-0, 50 to 48. Maybe this is where Stush turn it around, Tom.
Possibly. Construct.
Are we going to see narrows?
Maybe. Maybe not, because Back2Classic is trying to stop it from happening. They want to win this Construct King of the Hill game very badly. And one of the things that we saw from the previous series that they did so well was right when that first hill comes up, milk as much freaking time as you can. ABG did such a great job, and his teammates did such a great job of following him up there that they had, I think, 50 to 60 seconds within the first minute and 20. So that's just a great ratio for them. And then when that second hill is coming up, it's 2 minutes per hill. So when you are sitting around that 30 to 20 second mark, it's time to rotate. Get out of that bottom hill, sacrifice your life if you want, stay down towards the bottom. But that guy that is on the bottom, he's most likely going to be the guy that's making the play over towards the overshield. So let's look out to see if these guys are on top of the rotations and on top of that bottom hill.
Here we go then, Back2Classic, who are of course 2-0 up in this series, as you can see. Everybody at home, wherever you may be watching, thank you to everyone who got up nice and early, the other side of the pond as well, to join in and watch some European Halo, and of course Tox Gaming, seeing if they can hold down the crown for North America as far as Halo 3 is concerned. But at the start here, not seeing too much time, but it is going to be Back2Classic here, the people who are 2-0 up in the series, scrapping up that early time, and they've also managed to get the sniper rifle in the hand of Pointy.
Yeah, I like to see more time right at the beginning, but it looks like everyone was battling for those rockets, which isn't that big of a deal, and that's why I was making a huge deal out of the previous game about how much time they were able to gather, because it's pretty rare to see something like that. So now that you have the rockets, it's your job to stay up top. You do not want to drop down here. Even if you get that kill, you want to still stay up top. You cannot drop down here and make this rotation. You're just way too at risk for dying. You have this player that was over towards the river, but if the communication was there, that player right there would have already turned around and killed that guy. So Fatal Ferocity, it looks good. It seems to be working out right there, but that play could have completely blown up in their face. Yeah,
I think against a higher caliber team, that kind of play gets exposed very, very quickly. Pointy now with the sniper rifle, he's under pressure, he's trying to hit a couple of quick scopes, and Icon's going to be facing the wrong direction, and that's just going to allow him to live a few seconds longer than maybe he would have. But Penguin comes in, and that is the European version of Penguin, of course, not the one
but the other Penguin is here.
He is here, I was going to say, not the player who is playing with Trippy, obviously in the Halo 5 2v2 tournament we have here at Twickenham. And now we're seeing the score really start to extend once again. And
Twickenham, I've been butchering this the whole time.
What have you been saying? Oh,
Twickenham.
Oh dear, you're so North American.
It's been bad.
This is all you now, Tom, by the way.
But hey, 71 seconds is pretty solid. Twickenham, I got it now.
It's Twickenham.
Yeah, Twickenham.
Perfect.
Okay. You guys like
just like near London.
Yeah, we're here near London, or even just London. It's way easier.
That's fine. We're in England.
But one of the things I want to point out is 71 seconds is not that bad from where they started, because nobody really milked that first 30 seconds. So for them to be able to recover and try to get some of that hill time and start to push on now to the top of the map while getting the custom, this is looking really good right now for Back2Classic. Great shots there from Icon.
He gets taken down though by Techie Knight, who sweeps his way towards Close Street to finish off that kill. Mr. now,
he really wants that sniper.
I was going to say, that's the play of a man who's 102 to 8 down and definitely wants the sniper rifle to maybe give us something to shout about. And fair play to Jersey. He's decided, our observer in the back, to switch over to him and see what he can do with this now. And the master.
Okay, so one of the angles that he missed right there is potentially sniping the hill guy. And now he's the last guy alive, and he's going to try to challenge this guy. Yeah, that guy was one shot. That's good. Takes this other guy down to no shields, but he's going to spawn his team all right here, which is not good. Everyone's going to be trapped here. They're going to have rockets. This is a horrible spot to be. So he missed the opportunity of, if you're going to grab this sniper rifle, try to snipe the hill guy. That's the most valuable thing that you can do. Yes, try to help for the rockets for sure. They're pretty fortunate that this hasn't gotten too out of control quite yet, but you have to think about getting the hill guy out of the hill. That's literally the start of everything good in Construct King in terms of taking things back.
Well, the Master is trying to make something good happen here. He picks up 2, still has that sniper rifle in his hands as well. FACEIT Ignite will be taken down. Didn't need the headshot, but decided to be precise and take him down with that little blader. Sandel going to be taken down to no shields as well, and Penguin will finish that kill. So now we're finally seeing a little bit of control here at the top of the map here for Stush Gaming. You're looking at all the players moving around, but the only problem is, Tom, they've got this control back as the hill is moving, and as that overshield's coming up.
Feels bad, man. That's not the timing that you were hoping for. Hopefully we can get another melee in. Oh, the body disrespect afterwards too. It hurts, it burns. And then he's gonna rocket his teammate there as well. Super unfortunate there for Stush Gaming. Back2Classic, they're looking good now with the rockets over towards the closed purple. It's gonna be Sandal 2 rotating over towards R1, and you love to see it. Really heads up play here. Getting in the lobby, which seems to be a safe spot for now since he has a teammate. Gonna have to wait for his shields to come back. Did see someone come up the lift.
Did he see the shadow?
Oh no, he didn't see that lift.
Spooky, but he gets the double kill for him. Maybe he knew better than he did, but he's a little bit of a clairvoyance, saw into the future there and decided that that was the perfect time to fire that rocket. Picked up the 2 kills. And now you're gonna see a little bit of hill time again being scrapped up, isolating that player down on C2, and now again, Sandel 1 now, moving across to help his teammates, trying to clean up this kill in close purple. Teammate will do that. No one dropping down on the hill quite as yet, and we're going to see Sandel 1 drop down. Let's see if there's a teammate up in sword to make sure that he's keeping those spawns, of course.
Yeah, you figure if there's a Sandal 2, there has to be a Sandal 1. So there they are, back to back. Back2Classic over here, trying to secure this one. They're up 2-0, as you can see at the top of their screen. Pretty comfortable lead here going into game 3 as well, 141 to 25. You have sniper rifles somewhere on the map. Not sure who picked that one up. It's going to be Sandal 1, so he's got it over towards the closed street, which you love to see. This is a really powerful position. Misses that shot right there, but going to make up for it with a nice body shot on the player making his way down towards bottom center, and has to skedaddle out of here. 20 seconds till this hill's moving. Custom coming up here very soon. Not sure who's going to be the one to go for it, but they do have the time on that since they had the battle over there towards that last time. There's the spawner that he got over towards the main ramp, and he's just going to say, thank you for that sniper, sir. I'll be taking that one, and this is where you want to be with the hill moving as well. Hit that closed side. Unfortunately for them, they have 2 players on closed gold, so great job from Back2Classic rotating because they realized this hill was moving close.
Yeah, I think Back2Classic here have just got to recognize how important that back gold spawn is on this closed hill as well. You can really put pressure onto anyone coming up those purples, especially if you have the sniper rifle as well. Would maybe like to see someone rotate through lobby to watch that purple. Maybe jump in the hill to allow that sniper rifle player to reposition, maybe get into position to have as many angles as possible. But now we're seeing the push up to the top of the map here, and they've done a pretty good job, to be honest with you, of getting that player out of the hill. And Sandal 2 will catch that player off guard and pick up 2, but the rockets will fall. Fatal Ferocity still with the sniper rifle in hand, only hits the body shot as Penguin takes him down, but here comes the kind of collapse on top of the initial push.
That's such a big body shot though, because now he just domino affected everything that just happened in lobby. Now that player's no shields, he killed another player, he took the guy down to sword to have to back up so he can't push over towards the lobby. So just hitting that quick scope onto Penguin created a whole basically butterfly effect on what was happening over towards the lobby side. So just fantastic job there from the players on Back2Classic. And you can see they know what they're doing. They're rotating when they need to rotate. They're going for the weapons. They're watching the lifts. And you saw Stush Gaming, they did the right thing too. They didn't stagger their spawns. 3-4 people went up that open lift together, and you have to make moves. I mean, you're down so much and this team's about to win. They're 30 seconds away. You gotta do something, and that play seemed to be a pretty smart one in my opinion, but there's only so much that you can do in Construct when the other team has complete top control, and that's why it's just so important to make sure as that hill's rotating that you're right on set. You have to watch that closed gold side. That started everything for these guys, and you never know if someone's going to be sneaking up over there trying to spawn their teammates. So it's important to have both lifts covered and gold covered, and then that fourth guy can literally do whatever he wants.
But now you're seeing the pressure start to toll here on Stush Gaming. 2-0 down in the series, and you can feel that this could be the series falling out of their hands very, very quickly. A lot of solo pushes starting to come in, trying desperately to get up top, but they will at least extend this for one more hill. Penguin's going to have a battle here with Sandel 1, and he will win that. And maybe that's a little spark that they need, a little bit of a catalyst just to give him a little bit of belief, but just as I say that, he manages to take down one player. Well, two players swoop out of the skies. There's Seagulls after some stale bread and managed to take him down before he gets any more damage done.
And they toss that sniper rifle off. Great heads-up play from Back2Classic here. It's going to be Sandal 2 trying to charge the overshield guy. They realize just do as much damage as possible and try to get this guy out of there. Penguin find the kill onto Sandal, and I would love to see these guys try to milk this bottom hill because they need as much time as possible, but it's going to be hard because if they just sit there and trade time here, that's not even close. They have to play perfect Halo. I mean, literally, they have nothing to work with, though. Rockets drop here soon, and that's their only win condition because of the fact that there's 5 more seconds to go. I don't even know if those rockets are going to pop back up in time.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be time for them. You can see the clock is ticking towards 250, and Back2Classic do manage to close out the 3-0 sweep. Fantastic stuff from the 4 gentlemen on your screen that you can see here. Pretty convincing. Once again, it's been a morning of convincing results.
No doubt about it. I mean, 2 really solid teams there, but Back2Classic ends up prevailing with a handful of, just great rotations and great baiting and switching coming in overall, and some pretty clutch shots. Like that shot on Penguin was no joke over towards the close purple, and again, that just created so much opportunity for the rest of the team as we go and look. I mean, solid grenade kills. You have 3 grenade kills coming out, from one player on the blue side, but it just doesn't mean anything. It's all about the hill time there, and you didn't see much of them getting the guy out of the bottom center hill. 71 seconds out of the 2 minutes there is a lot of hill time, and once you go down like that in the beginning of a game, it's so hard to bounce back because we were talking about this in Oddball. I look at this and I say, okay, they had one setup for the bottom hill and they got 71 seconds.
Yeah.
That means every bottom hill they're going to be around that 70-second area because they know what they're doing. So that's just scary. You have to try to answer that with a huge setup of your own. The only way that you can respond to that onset is with an insane closed or open purple hill.
And the scariest thing about that is the bottom hill is, historically the weakest hill, the most difficult to hold for a team. So if they're racking up that amount of time, then those side hills, well, you do start to feel a little bit wobbly in the knees. But here is the results here from this series. 5-0. Onslaught capture the flag, 50-48 in that Heretic Slayer. And then we just see that convincing win here on Construct Hill. A little bit of a replay here. Fatal Ferocity. This was one of the plays that you weren't too keen with.
Yeah,
and I think it's one of those plays that,
again, though.
as I said when we were commentating, against a top-tier team, you are not going to be allowed to get away with that.
I want people to think about this is if you can still challenge from an angle that you had before you dropped down and it was a superior angle, there's no reason to drop, okay? So think about this. He dropped to what he thought was getting an angle on players. But in reality, if he stayed up top where he was or just jumped on over towards the R1, he's in a better spot and still has the same angle, if not a better angle. So don't put yourself in a vulnerable spot to chase a kill when you can hold a power position on the map is what I'm trying to get towards.
I think another sort of extend on that even more is he's kind of taking his escape route out as well. That when you're on that street, you have that escape route. If you do take some shots, you could drop down to the river. So all of these little decisions, it's why they're called power positions, Tom. It's, it sounds so simple, it sounds so obvious, but sometimes, if you're new to Halo 3, as a lot of people are, who weren't born when Halo 3 was originally out, these little tidbits and bits of advice, they're there for a reason. It's to make you a better player.
Yeah, and he didn't lift back up immediately after that or anything like that. So you got to think about all these things. Think about your escape routes. Think about how much damage you could potentially take if that player melees him or throws a nice grenade or something like that. Now you're coughing up the rockets. And I'm just worried that, again, when you play a team like Tox or some of these other top teams, those are your win conditions. You get the rockets, you get in a power position, you have to hold on to those spots and you have to cherish those moments and go on those big runs. It's basically like a turnover in sports when you go and you do something like that. So I just, I love the way that the teamwork that they had. I love the way that they were able to do that. Nitpicking a little bit here and there, but I just want to drop that knowledge on people so they understand that there are better positions to be in and you have to think about your angles, and that's what you're seeing from the previous 2 series is these teams are so high up in their Halo IQ that they're always in a spot where you're talking about where they have an angle that they can back down and secure their shields back and then come back and attack.
Okay, well, there's going to be plenty more of T2's knowledge bombs being dropped throughout the weekend. That's going to do it all for that particular game, though. We're going to go for a quick break right now. Don't go anywhere, though. When we get back, some more Swiss Group Round 2.